Welcome, guys. This is the Dark Souls 2 no-hit guide. I'm going to be going over the route that I like to do for my Dark Souls 2 no-hit runs. This is the route I used for the God run. It literally never failed me in the God run. I think I was 8 for 8 on this route in DS2. So very consistent run. We're going to be going over strats, alternate ways of doing things that some other people like to do, my way of doing things. So yeah, let's get started. The first thing to make sure is that you're offline on Steam. I actually need to make sure I'm offline on Steam. I am. That we don't get invaded. The big thing about DS2 is that the whole goal is to kill 4 Rottens so that you can make it to endgame. And to kill 4 Rottens, you need 3 bonfire ascetics. You start with 1 bonfire ascetic, so you have to find 2 more in the world somewhere. And there's a bunch of different routes. Some people like to kill Nashandra and Congregation and then get a bonfire ascetic there. Some people like to kill the Ruin Sentinels and get the bonfire ascetic in Bastille. Some people kill Fluxile Sentry and get the bonfire ascetic, the same bonfire ascetic in the Bastille. And I like to go to Shulva because there's 2 bonfire ascetics in Shulva. So to start, we pick the Explorer and the bonfire ascetic. Explorer has good starting ADP and a bunch of good like items and stuff like that. So it's a good choice for the starting class. Here I just dump out all my items. You can see I select discard selected and then just pick the 2 things, press Y to dump them. And we're off. Grab this bonfire here. We're going to come back to this in a few minutes to get the stone ring. Grab this item here. You can kind of just run into this tree and then just grab the item. Or you can like kill the wagon if you want. Wagon! The first thing we're going to do is head toward Dragonrider for souls, which will let us buy some skulls and starting stats for the rapier. The rapier is going to be the weapon for the entire run, basically. We don't really use another weapon besides that. You can come over to this ledge and slowly walk off and drop down here and pick up the chime. The chime is going to be used later in the run when we get Homeward. Homeward is a spell that will let you escape any forlorn invasion, which we'll talk about. The Jewel of Bonfire. You can go over here and just tap A to talk to the Herald and run away. And you'll get the flask. 800 souls here. And then we're going to go over and kill Malin. So there's a way to kill Malin with 4 witching urns, and there's a way to kill him with 5 witching urns. If you mess up the 4, you can just do a 5. But generally I like to kind of like stand like... It's hard to say. There's kind of like a brick on the ground I look at, and I put my right foot on it, and then aim all the way down, and just throw 4. 1, throw 3, and then tilt your camera up to kind of like this side, and then you'll get the 4 witching urn kill. So you just kind of put your right foot on that on this like skinny tile here, and aim straight down. Throw 3, tilt your camera to like kind of normal height, and throw another one. If you miss for some reason, you still have time to throw another one after that. So even if you mess it up, it can still work. 3 Titanite shards here. Just 1 Titanite shard, that is. And we're going to go grab the Homeward Bones here near the Covenant of Champions. Another thing to note, this is not a speedrun route by any means. The route is efficient and I like it, but it's definitely not the fastest route you can do. So if you are looking for a speedrun route, you know, Deadeye has a really good like 90-minute no hit run route. There's even faster routes you can do. But this is built for the God Run because DS2 is my game 5 for the God Run. So I needed something that was very, very comfortable that I could just run in my sleep. So anyways, we'll head to Dragonrider, pull the lever, pop a soul if you want. You can kind of just pop souls at like opportune times. And under here, there's another soul on this body. You can jump across that. I messed it up though. Okay, so this running section, it's not too bad, but there's a couple memes. Some people will go to the left of this giant. I really recommend going to the right. He has a rare attack that you will strafe by going to the right. So, and walk up like kind of the left side of this slope so you don't aggro this guy early. Run straight at him and just go around him. Anything he does, you can just go around him like that. That guy will never chase you. You can ignore him. Here you can do a jump off of this thing, which kind of saves a little time, or you can just run past this guy. On my runs now, I do this jump. You kind of land next to that Hide Knight down there. But the safest way is just to run down like this. And aggro this guy. Let him come out a little bit and just run past him. And if you know Dragonrider cheese, this should be familiar to you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And he just goes right off. Put on the armor. Pop some more souls if you want. So you just want to make sure you get the armor on. The armor gives you the plus 20% or so soul gain, so it's important to have those early levels. Here we will talk to, forget what her name is, but the Miracle Lady, and buy Homeward. A very important spell for the run. And we're going to kill her next. So just get in front of her. Once she stands up, punch her and rotate around to the left, staying locked on. And we'll punch her off the ledge. And she'll fall. So that gives you about 3,000 souls, which is really good. Some runs like to get Dark Weapon, so they'll actually get her key to go to Huntsman's Copse, but that's not what we're doing for this run. We just kill her for like 3k souls. In terms of the armor, you can either hot swap it on after every boss. It's pretty easy to just like, it's just A left, A left, A left, A left. Like it's very satisfying to just go like boom. Like you can just do it super fast. Or you can just leave the armor on all the time. Like that's perfectly fine as well. Here we go to Shalquar and buy all 10 skulls.
Satisfied?
We're going to use 3 in the forest. If you notice, I am two-handing in my left hand, which you can do by pressing and holding the Y button, or triangle if you're on PlayStation. It skips some animations where you have to like put your weapon away, like opening doors, picking up items, things like that. Not that animation, because that's like a two-handed animation, but in general, it saves a little bit of time, and I kind of like the way it looks. So pop the Dragonrider soul. Make sure you equip your skulls and Homeward Bone. Take off your armor if you feel like it. I'll leave some of it on. There's a soul down here. You can just run off this ledge. Not necessary to get this one, but if it lets you buy an extra firebomb or something, why not? And we can just run through here. Run to the right of this guy. These guys will never hit you as long as you manage your stamina well. Dark Souls 2, just never let your stamina run out. So you can see I run under the arrow there on that bridge and just drop into the water and then run up that slope. Go over here before the fog gate, throw skull to the left or the right, it doesn't really matter. And you can see I skip an animation by two-handing in my left hand and going through the fog gate. At this part, I just peek out so he sees me and then I run by him. Run an exact straight line through here and jump through these boxes. You can also throw another skull there if you're not liking that section very much. Skull at the wall, roll away just in case. And up the ladder. And run straight here. Skull to the left for any enemy that follows you. And I like to look behind me just to make sure no one followed me. And rested the bonfire. So that running section's a bit scary when you first do it, but it is very consistent with 3 skulls. Okay, so now we will get the blacksmith key. I like to get like 8 or so firebombs. It doesn't have to be exact. And you can also get a club here if you need to hit any lizards. So I'll buy a club. And then just make sure you talk to Malentia so that she goes back after you kill Last Giant. Just exhaust her dialogue. When she says I should pick up and move, you're good to go. So now we're gonna go get our weapon for the run, which is the rapier. And we're gonna upgrade it to +3. To wield the rapier, we'll need to level 6 points into dexterity. So get your bearer seek going and level to 12 dexterity, which is the amount you need to wield the rapier and the short bow. Open up the shop, run back and sit. Grab the short bow from this chest, very important. And go here and buy the rapier. I like to buy like 11 wood arrows, they're very cheap. We use it for a specific part, and buy 50 iron arrows, which is just all of them. And then I buy 6 Titanite shards here. You only need 6 to upgrade a weapon to +3, and we already have 1, so I only need to buy 5. But if I buy 6, then I can upgrade the short bow after we go to Macduff. So buy 6 here so that you have 7 total, and bring the rapier to +3. Okay, I equip my weapons. I personally don't like wearing armor, so I'm gonna run without it, but if you're more comfortable wearing armor, then just keep it on. We're gonna get Stone Ring now. If you are not comfortable with this strat, I'm not going to, say it's like super critical to do right now. You can do it after you upgrade the bow, if you like that better. But the idea for the ogre is just to loop him. So you just run up with the rapier, and we're gonna run around the right side, so like the ogre's left side, and he will 95% of the time do this like right-handed swipe attack on you, and then you're behind him. Sometimes he doesn't do that, and if that happens, you have to bait out his like grab attack to get behind him. But very frequently, he will just do this right-handed swipe, this attack. Just stand at his butt and let him sit. 3 R1s, let him sit again. 2 R1s. It'll take a little practice. If you're uncomfortable with that, all you need to do is come back here later with the bow upgraded, and you just come around this corner and just start shooting with arrows. And just kind of back off, shoot him with arrows, back off, shoot him with arrows. So you don't have to do this early Stone Ring thing. I just do it because I'm already in Majula, already not like on the main path, so I might as well just get this while I'm here. Okay, and now we are going to go to Last Giant. This running section for Last Giant it can be scary when you first start running, so make sure you have Stone Ring equipped if you got it. Again, not necessary. Make sure you equip the Firebomb though, that's important. I like to check here that my rapier is actually +3 because sometimes I forget to upgrade it. I'm going to be doing a slower version of this running section. There is a faster version, but I like the slow version. Normal R1 on that guy. Running R1, R1 on this guy. And then just 2 R1s on this guy. Make sure you've got your Firebomb ready, because the next part can go a bit fast. Run straight up this branch. I like to roll through these barrels here, and roll through this next set of barrels as well. And just run past this guy on the left. Anything he does will miss you. Make sure you're running for all of this, because this bow guy will sometimes aggro quickly like that. You don't want to stall there. Drop here, and throw a Firebomb. Run through. You can see this moves quickly, right? It's something where you do need to be on your game. Make sure you're watching that you're not stalling or hesitating or anything like that. So for these guys, you can either kill them with arrows or you can kill them melee. I choose to kill them melee because I think it's easier, but it's totally fine to kill them with arrows as well, with the bow. So I bait the first one to aggro, and once he walks away from the other one a little bit, go over here, bait his longer range attack, running R1, R1. Same thing here, bait this longer range attack. They will always do it as their first attack. I've never seen them not do it first. If you don't like those guys, again, just shoot them with an arrow. It's longer, but it's totally fine. Fire arrows here, very important. And you don't have to open this shortcut, but you can for a Forlorn later. I like to equip the fire arrows here since we're on an elevator. And then normally I would ooze on this elevator just to save time. I would buff my rapier, but I'll go over the Last Giant kill first. Three arrows for this guy. So make sure you don't walk too far forward to aggro him, because then he'll block the arrows, which is not what you want. So this is a semi-script for Last Giant. We will buff and then walk in. We'll do 4 R1s right in front of him. Walk around his side and do 2 R1s, bait a stomp, and then 4 more R1s, and then during his like tearing off his arm phase transition animation, 2 more R1s will kill him. It's a lot of words. I'd rather just show you how it goes. Let me just leave an item and make a save state. If you need to make save states in this game, you can just drop an item. That forces the game to save. So I can show this to you a couple times. At the start, just walk forward and just R1 into his left leg, which is the leg on the right. 1, 2, 3, 4. That will never hit you. Walk around the leg this way. After the swipe, 1, 2. Stay here for a stomp. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, and he jumps back here. Okay, that's good RNG to show. This is his phase transition where he tears off his arm. And there we kill him. Put the clothes on, and that's Last Giant. So let's see that again. Let's see if we can get the RNG without him jumping back. The jump back's pretty uncommon. It's like maybe 20% of the time he does that. So I'm just quitting out and reloading my save state from prior to the kill. And we'll ooze again. So walk forward, 4 R1s on the leg. 1, 2, 3, 4. Walk around. 1, 2. Oh, and he jumps back. Classic. again, yeah, the script's messed up a little bit, but on the jump back, you can either... We're gonna do it one more time, just for fun. I promise it's the last of Last Giant that you will see. It's the easiest boss in the run. But I want to show like multiple variations of RNG, which is good that... It's good that he's actually doing multiple variations. Hopefully we can get a typical fight, because both of those RNGs are actually pretty uncommon. Usually he just stands there. Last one though. 1, 2, 3, 4. Come around. 1, 2. Bait the stomp. And he jumps back again. Okay, so he's in a bad place. I'm just gonna run away from him, and then you can just run in. And he always does this swipe attack. And now we're back in business. He's tearing off his arm, and he's dead. Okay, so that's different RNGs, different ways to approach things. It's very safe if things go south on Last Giant to just run away from him and then run back towards him, because you can almost always run under his legs. We're coming up to another section where there's multiple ways to approach it. I will show you the slow way, and then I will show you the fast way. When I do the editing, I'll put a little thing on the screen that's like way 1, the slow way, way 2, the fast way, you know? So editor Baryon, don't forget that. Okay, leave an item to make a save state. Again, very useful. This is the slow way, which is to kill these enemies in here. Come in here, bait out an attack. Overhead slam. 1, 2. Sometimes it's 3. If you're unsure, do 3. 1, 2, 3, just in case, right? And come up here, kind of wait on the right side. Make sure you don't aggro this archer. This guy will come down. Bait out an attack. 1, 2, 3, just in case. And you can kill this archer with arrows. 1, 2. I like to hide after this one. Wait for him to finish shooting. And there he's dead. So that's very safe. Slow way to do it. Here's the fast way, which is also consistent. This is a relatively new addition to my repertoire, so I can't speak to 100% consistency. But people say it's 100% consistent. So if you take people's words for it, then this way is nice because it's faster. Okay, so here is the fast way. We will run up, ignore these guys, run up the stairs, 2-hand in your left hand for the fog gate coming up. Start walking here, 2 steps and run. And into the fog gate. So here's Pursuer. Run around the barrel and towards him, and trigger the ballista. Oh, and it failed. Yeah, I had a bad angle there. Okay, let's see this again. Sorry, I was too flummoxed by the by how close that knight guy was. And there's two Pursuer strats as well. I still must to show you guys. There's just so much. But I want to get through this running section just so we can show it. So again, run through here. Make sure you're 2-handing in your left hand so you're faster through the fog wall. Run up here, ignore everybody. Start walking here, 2 steps and run. And into the fog gate. And here's the no roll Pursuer. You basically angle to the left right before he comes at you. And he'll kind of like zoom off in the direction of where the ballista is going to fire. And here is the roll Pursuer. So no roll, he just runs straight forward around the barrel. And then right when he's about to launch himself, you just hook left and head to the ballista. When you're starting, the roll pursuer might be a bit more comfortable. So we're going to show that now. Again, 2-hand in your left hand. Ignore everything. We're walking, 1, 2, go. And we're into the fog wall. And run up to right before this barrel on the left. And you just roll the attack and hit the ballista. So both ways are perfectly valid and consistent. You just find out which one works for you. Practice it once or twice, you'll totally get it quickly. Equip the Ring of Blades, which we get from the Pursuer. And head to the Bastille. We're going to get this Ember out of this chest, which lets us upgrade to +6. And run along the left side here. Grab the large Titanite shard here. Run over. Boop the side of this chest on the right. And run over here. Pop a soul while we wait for the Pursuer to spawn and despawn. He cannot get us over here. He will just give up. We can run to the chest. You can run to the chest pretty immediately as well. Like, you don't have to wait as long as I did. So that gives us our Fragrant Branch and Serpent Ring, which we're not going to have for too long, but Fragrant Branch is the big part. For this next part, it kind of starts immediately because we're basing ourselves on the Jailer's Patrol here. So if you're stalling here at all, just sit to reset his patrol. So starts immediately. Run over this way and get out here and ooze. And to kill this guy, we're going to walk up to him. Don't run up to him. Wait for him to turn. And 3 R2s to kill him. So looks scarier than it is, but everything he can do, you're just going to kill him with the R2s. The R2s will stagger him in 1 hit. Okay, so large Titanite shard here. And now we're going to wait for this guy to come up. And once you see his feet both on the level ground, you can shoot an arrow and fire arrow to explode that barrel. Next thing is this section. So you want to run straight forward into the barrel and you will strafe whatever his attack is and walk back up to him. 3 more R2s. So he'll either do that sweep attack that he did, or he'll do like a poke attack, but neither of them are actually going to hit you. And you just simply walk back up to him and do 3 R2s. Now, there may be a Forlorn invasion here. So if you're not familiar, Forlorn is an invader that can come into your game and disable your ability to bone. When Forlorn is invading, your bone will be grayed out, which is why I like to keep my bone on my hotbar. If Forlorn does invade at this point, I basically wait for her to approach this section with the fire barrels, and then I will explode the fire barrel, which will knock her down, and I'll run past her and go up to this area, and she'll be following you this whole time. So you go up in the ladder, and then she around here will be like kind of climbing over onto this section. So from the ladder, I'll just shoot a couple arrows to try to knock her down. And then once she hops up, you can hop down yourself and you just loop her around like that. Once she hops down, you go back up on this thing, go up on the ladder, try to knock her off again. You just kind of loop it like that. I'm going to link a guide to Lone Wind, who has like detailed Forlorn strategies for each of the possibilities. Yeah. There's a gold pine resin there. Good to pick that up. Sometimes when you push the barrel, it'll explode the wall. Sometimes it'll be in a weird position. In that case, I think the explosion would blow up the wall, but we can make even more sure of it. So since the dogs are alive, I'll kill them. Got to be careful with the dogs because they can accelerate very quickly. If you do need to run, the dogs will tether. So you can run all the way back here to like the barrels and stuff, and the dogs will at some point tether and start walking away from you. So when this happens, I like to just push the barrel closer to the wall, back off a little bit, and explode it. But some of the time it'll blow up the wall automatically, but I hit it at a weird angle this time, so. I get the stuff out of these left 2 chests, which is just some Titanite. Talk to Macduff and give him the Ember. The default is no for some reason, which is lame as hell. Buy like around 200 arrows. I usually buy like 181. And I get to 12 large Titanite shards because we're going to upgrade 2 weapons to +6 right now. And upgrade the rapier. And upgrade the shortbow. So now we have +6 rapier and a +6 shortbow, which is really good. Now we head back to Majula. Unequip the armor if you want. Again, doesn't really matter. Here I like to buy 2 bright bugs and talk to Melentia for the ring. That is one downside of this run, is you're quite short on souls. We usually end up with only like a few thousand souls extra, so it can be a bit tight if you like forget to put your clothes on or like something like that. So now we're gonna run to the woods. The woods has a bunch of souls and some rings that are gonna be good for killing the Rottens. I like to grab these bones here. Not necessary, but nice to have. We're gonna throw 2 skulls after we unfreeze. What's her name? Millibeth or something. So we pull the lever and then just kind of walk forward, throw a skull. Wait a few seconds, throw another skull, and then I like to use fire arrows to kill the basilisk here. 1 fire arrow, 1 regular arrow will do it. You don't want to shoot too soon because you can like hit the door if you shoot too soon after it like comes up. Like you see like how that hit the door, like under the door. So just give it a little space before it starts. But you have plenty of time with the basilisk. We're gonna run past this enemy on the right and just strafe whatever it does. No need to roll. And here, throw a skull. Not strictly necessary here. There is a no roll strat. No skull, no roll. Grab this soul here. I believe it's a 2k soul. And this guy will never hit you. It looks scary, but he'll never hit you. Just keep running. Grab the bonfire. Grab the split again. And we're gonna go get our TSR. For these like dog things, you can like kill them with a rapier if you want, or you can just ignore them. It's very, very rare, but like they will very occasionally aggro. Like it's something I've literally never seen myself in like hundreds of runs. So I like to kill them if I can. Throw a skull there, grab our TSR and bone out. This next spot is another big Forlorn area. Forlorn loves to invade in the woods. It's definitely one of the most common invasions in my experience. So I walk forward, shoot a tree, keep the bone on your hotbar so you can see if you're going to get invaded. Just walk along the left wall here. You can see there's just the wall on our left the whole time. Grab this soul. It's another 2k soul. So the trees like attract the enemies. So normally they'd be aggroed to me right now, but because I hit the tree, it like attracts them. It's like a skull almost. Yeah, so here we already have 2 gold pine resin, but we have 4 rottens to kill. So I like to grab like maybe like 1 or 2 extra gold pine resin. I'll probably just grab 1. Sorry, my brain gets confused with like all bosses routing. It's really not important because like it's not necessary, but you could hop down here, shoot the tree. I like to get my rapier out here because we're going to stab this tree with the soul. Don't pick that up as enemies will aggro to you pretty quickly. Hit this tree and look around the right side for the crossbow guy and just make sure he's not aggroed to you. If he is aggroed, you got to run, obviously. And then just stick along the left side there. So you hit this slope, come along the right side to get the Chloranthy ring +1. Very nice ring, really good stamina regen. And stay along the right side. And we're up into the shaded ruins area. You laughing at me back there?
Me?
Yeah. Okay. I'm watching you. Grab the bonfire. I like to put on my clothes here. Because we're gonna shoot this guy to get him away from the chest. I like to shoot him and then I just run all the way back so he doesn't see me. And he'll usually fall off like that. He doesn't have to fall off like that. So if he doesn't, make sure he's not coming at you. And if he is, like, just go sit at the bonfire and try again. Usually when you start from that far away, he doesn't see you. But something to be aware of. I like to jump down here. Grab the soul and the fire bombs. You can roll through that curse pod if you want. It's not necessary. And just run back up. That's a 5k soul. We're going to pick up 3 5k souls in this area, which is just amazing. And have the bone out because there's another forlorn chance here. Just wait a second to see if we get it. We don't get it. So now we just jump across this gap. And grab the chest. Again, there's going to be a playlist with all of the forlorn invasions. Also, I'll put in edits too, where I can kind of like make sure to tell you to go to the right place for those resources. Roll through the barrels, come up here, grab another soul, and hop down, run along this side. All the enemies in this area are just very slow and like not particularly interested in killing you. So one more soul here at the top, grab it and bone out. And that's the woods, just a bunch of souls and a couple of rings. Nothing too stressful. That's the fun part of this run is like, it's Last Giant Pursuer as bosses and then just Rottens. Like, that there's only like a couple bosses at the very, like, even through like mid game. All right, so pop all your souls. And go here, and I forget if we can get the levels now for Homeward. No, we can't get the levels now for Homeward, which is fine. So instead of that, I would just go and buy the last Bright Bug here that we didn't get before. You could probably buy it before if you have the money for it. I think you do have the money for it, so I'll put it in the edit just to have buy 3 instead of 2. Here, you can kind of level whatever you want. Like, we're gonna do 2 Rottens. We can level after the first Rotten anyways. So if you want to get ADP up, that's completely fine. You need 13,400 souls to buy the ring. So I'll probably level up ADP to 90 or agility to 92. That's 14 ADP. And then I guess I'll put the rest into like Dex or something. I want to leave enough souls to upgrade my rapier and buy the cat ring. So I'll go upgrade the rapier first. just make sure we have enough souls for everything. 1390. And if you want to upgrade ADP just to get like another iframe, that's completely fine. Our rotten is a no roll rotten for the most part, so it's not really necessary. But you can do that, and then maybe level dex to 16 or endurance if you want endurance, totally fine. But now we have enough souls to buy the cat ring, which we are going to use to get to rotten. There's the cat ring, and we just equip that instead of another ring. You can keep your weapons on and everything. We have enough health to survive the fall with the cat ring. Tiptoe off here, don't go too fast, and you can just use life gems to heal yourself. Hop down here, another life gem. You can kind of cancel the animation by falling. For here, just run straight along the wall. It's like kind of like, it's like straight but then right a little bit. Like the wall kind of guides you as you go, but like don't fall like directly into the wall. For this part, walk off slowly. Heal again. And this is another part where you just like kind of run along the wall and you just land on this thing. There's other ways to get down too. That's not the only one. So for this, I just like to kind of step off where this rope is and grab the homeward bone if you want. It's not really necessary to have bones anymore, but they're nice to have. Here I get the club out because I'm gonna kill this lizard. 2 hits with the club, and there's some Titanite shards, which we'll need to upgrade the black bow later. I like to shoot this guy, hop down here. You can plunge with L2 if you want for fun. And just shoot these guys. They run in a straight line toward you, so they're not too hard to kill. And for this part, you just want to be a little careful not to throw yourself off too quickly. If you want a more technical way, you can just rape your R1 off, and that'll guarantee that you're not going to kind of make anything accidental. As long as you have a cat ring, you can survive most falls. For this part, there's going to be some statues that spit at you. You can just run a straight line and they will not hit you. Just make sure you're sprinting. And then you can hop down here. I like to slow walk here, and this thing roll into the bonfire. And I don't like to sit now. I like to grab these dung pies, and now I sit. So for the next part, we want to be running, and there's going to be a guy in front of us, one to the left, and fall down here. There's some statues that can spit at you there, so make sure you don't fall too far down, and then run off here. That part's a bit tricky, so it's just worth practicing a couple times. There's a chunk in there that we need. Fall down here, and we'll head up the ladder. It looks easier than it is a little bit, this part, because everything on this area is on a timer. So you want to make sure you're running through the same way every time, just to make sure that nothing weird happens with timing. Enemy pops up where you don't expect them to pop up and your run's over. Up this ladder. Sometimes this enemy will be looking at you, sometimes not. I like to throw 2 R2s at him just in case. Down the zip line and walk off this plank. Running R1 on this guy. Running R1 on this guy. And just run straight here. This spit will not hit you. Get out the bow and shoot this guy. He's kind of hard to see, but you'll kind of remember where he is after a while. Here's some poison arrows. These statues don't spit, you can see, so you don't have to worry about going too far. Come up here, 2 R1s for this guy. Grab more dung pies and hop down. And we're gonna want to go right and kind of back off of the ladder. Roll through these things. You can roll that guy. I kind of just roll as I'm rolling into the pots. It's kind of like a 2-for-1. Grab that fragrant branch down there, and we're into the gulch. So for the Shulva route on Scholar, we have to kill these giants down here. So I will sit here and rest and equip these dung pies. So throw 5 dung pies like this to poison ourselves, and wait for a little bit for your health bar to decrease, and have a sip, and hopefully it does enough damage. It's been a while since I've done an RTSR setup with this low of health, but you'll get an idea for it, of like when to drink and all that. So yeah, this is perfect. This is a perfect RTSR setup. You can see I've got RTSR. Okay, so for this running section, there is another Forlorn. This one's nice in that we generally don't have to deal with it if there is one. So I don't even look at my bone for this. I just, if it happens, it happens. For this one, you want to start by running straight down the middle and then run left into this first statue on the left where my head is. And then after that, we're going to run a straight line to the left of this first pool. Once we hit the pool, we will regain a little stamina and go right, and then do a drop. So it's easier to show you than it is to explain it, but run straight here, left into the statue, run a straight line towards the left side of this pool, regain stamina, run along the right side, and drop down here. It's very comfortable once you kind of get a feeling for it. I like to plunge here because if you go too far right, like where this body is, you will trigger an invasion. And I like to wait before triggering the invasion. So you can drop down here, stick along the right wall, and you won't get lost. And kind of stop here on this little like nub. Make sure you don't go too far. So if you like hockey stop, you just like fall into the abyss or whatever. I like to hit one of them with an arrow while I set up my rings and everything. So we can do RTSR and Ring of Blades, and then we'll get our soul rings and the soul armor on, and then we can use the poison arrows that we just picked up to poison this guy. And he'll start being poisoned, and then we'll go for the guy in the back. And they'll be poisoned. The poison usually does around 1150 damage. So you'll need regular iron arrows to kill them as well. I would not recommend using any more arrows than this on them. I wouldn't do 2 sets of poison arrows because we need them later in the run. So you can see the poison already wore off on this guy. It's not the most exciting thing in the world, but it's very safe. And it's not too bad with a +6 bow. For all bosses, I usually come here with a +0 bow, and this is it's longer. And you can see I don't deplete my stamina totally because you actually get a damage penalty if you go over your stamina. So I only do 2 shots at a time. I really don't recommend fighting these guys melee. They have crazy hitboxes. So once they're dead, up in the cage. You can see we didn't get a Forlorn there because we didn't have like this red thing on screen that said invaded by Forlorn. So from here, we're gonna kind of go straight into Rotten. Not exactly like immediately, but I like to get my stuff set up. So I'll get my ooze ready and come out here. Don't go too far out here. Just kind of peek out and then fire arrow this pit and this pit. This is like a horrible hitbox here. Like, so you have to like aim out a little bit on the right. If you go too far out, you'll trigger the invader. So I don't like to go too far out. So now I like to kind of like line my head up to the left of this statue here and jump for it. Make sure you jump here, otherwise a statue under you can hit you. And at this point, the invader is going to spawn in, which is totally fine because we're well ahead of him, but we need to be quick. So just keep going, stay left, make sure these guys don't hit you. Use the fragrant branch. I like to buff here while I'm waiting for this guy to spawn in. and then we're gonna fight the Rotten. So just wait for him to be ready. Grab the bonfire, and then we're gonna run down immediately into the Rotten because we have an invader on us. Okay, I don't know why my controller glitched out there, but you just run this line to avoid the poison, kind of like a little arc there. It's not too bad once you know what you're doing. Okay, so that was a lot. For the Rotten, the basic idea is to run in and out and bait attacks and kind of react to what he does. The fight's very quick, unfortunately, so maybe I'll do like a no buffs fight for Rotten 2 just to show you more punishes. But I'll show you the general strategy here. Yeah, this is the long range attacks. Make sure you run away from this. You can run in and punish. And this is a good opportunity to get behind him because you don't really want him to trap you. So we're looking for an attack here. He's not doing one. Punishable here. 1, 2. And just manage your distance. This is 3, 2, 3. And if you're not sure, just roll. No harm in rolling. 1, 2. I like to hit his arms because his arms actually can be cut off. You don't need to punish the explosion. Just kind of get back in position. 1, 2. And it's all just a positioning thing. You're going to practice Rotten so many goddamn times in this run. Like, you'll be a pro at no roll Rotten. Back in position. Run out. 1, 2, 3 on this slam attack. You can see I already cut his arm off. 1, 2. Could have finished him there, but no reason to be greedy. And one more. Make sure you put your stuff on. And you can bone out. So not too bad. You have so much damage in this run. So that was the first Rotten. We're going to use the souls from the first Rotten to purchase stats that we need to use Homeward, which is an amazing spell. It basically bails us out of any Forlorn or Invader. Don't need to rest again. That was just silly. You can pop the soul here. And you can pop the Soul of a Giant we got from the 2 Shulva guys. And from here, we can level up at the Herald. So for Homeward, you need 10 attunement to get 1 slot available, and then we need 18 faith. So there's our stats for Homeward. From here, you can level more ADP. It really doesn't matter. Level whatever you want at this point because we have so many stats here. So if you want to get 105 agility right away by going to 30 ADP, that's completely fine. If you'd like more endurance, that's completely fine as well. I think we'll go 23 ADP and just get some endurance. And there's nothing we need to buy at this point, so it's completely fine just to level this. And here I attune Homeward. And I like to equip my chime at this point. You only need 10 faith to use the chime. Make sure you get Cat Ring out. I almost guarantee that you will take a death to forgetting Cat Ring. Happens to everybody. Happens to Hob. Again, tiptoe off here. Make sure you're lined up okay. Pop some life gems. Normal fall that we did last time. Again, make sure you just run along this wall here. Pop another one if you want. And we fall here. And climb up this ladder. And we couldn't do this before because we didn't have the key. But now that we have the key, we can go in here. And grab the Dragon Talon, which is what we need to get into Shulva. And then you can Homeward out. Yeah, so Homeward is basically, it's just a Homeward bone. But it works while you're invaded. So it's amazing. Like literally for that, only that reason, it's amazing. So at this point, you kind of have 2 choices. You don't have to do a second Rotten right now. You can go through Shulva first, and then just come back and do the Rotten. Or you can do Rotten now. It really doesn't matter. I like to do the Rotten now because it's like I'm here. So just efficiency wise, I might as well. But if you're more comfortable going through all of Shulva and then coming back with Flynn's Ring to do the other Rotten, then that's completely fine. It's just a little more time spent. I almost said wasted, but it's not really wasted if it's more consistent for you. So here you can use another ooze, or you can use the gold pine resin. I like to ooze here. I like to use my oozes first. And again, so the runoff here, we kind of run like forward, and then we sort of arc around. It's a weird, I don't know how to even like tell you what visual cue I use. It's a weird thing, but you just like get used to it. For the RTSR setup, I just walk straight into the fire here and then just run out, and you can dodge an attack. You can also bait out an attack. You know, you can go in here, bait out an attack, you know, just wait till he does something. Yeah, he does these weird idle animations, and then you go over here and set up RTSR. Like, that's valid too. However you want to do it. You can do 2 on this if you are there in time. There I rolled. It was a bit scary on that one. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, just watch your stamina. DS2 is very punishing with stamina. So if you run out of stamina, it takes forever to get to be able to run again. 1, 2. His arm kind of fell off, so it's a bit awkward. This attack is a bit scary. I really recommend running in on that. If you do have to deal with it from far away, roll to the side. It has an invisible hitbox that just comes straight at you. So we just walk out and in, or in and out rather. Remember, you can roll attacks if it's safer. Now both of his arms are cut off, so it's like he can't really do anything. His attacks do have hitboxes still. I'm not gonna like prove that to you. You can just trust me. But they're just much smaller. So, oh, he's growing his arms back, so we can just kill him. And close our on. So that's Rotten 2. Again, come back into a Flynn's Ring if you're uncomfortable fighting him with your current stats. You don't need to light that bonfire. Now we're gonna go to Shulva. So Shulva's great. It's a scary running section for sure, but it has a lot of benefits too. You get the Sanctum Mace, which is a free RTSR setup. You get Flynn's Ring, which is plus 50 AR, or attack rating, like damage. And overall, it's like it's not too bad. You can also get the plus 7 longbow if you want a better bow. But we're gonna get the black bow soon. So you can just run through this section, no problem. I'll point out the scary parts kind of when we get there. I'm gonna get the obligatory sleeping dragon, roaring dragon thing. Whenever you feel your controller rumbling, you can just roll and skip the like staggering animation. It's not a hit regardless, but it just makes you get through a little faster. Okay, so Shulva running section. First part, make sure you have, first thing, make sure you've got the cat ring on, because we're about to need it. We run through here. You can try to jump this gap. It's very tricky to jump. You can try to jump it if you want. Yeah, we didn't make it there, so it's completely fine. I give it 1 second for this guy up here to like de-aggro a little bit, and then shoot the trap. Or not the trap, but the switch. And we can just run up this way. And run to the left of this building. Shoot this guy so he runs away. And walk down, and you can just run across this gap. Swing out left here and then go right to avoid this piece of like poison thing, and then go right and then hook left here. And you kind of run over this rubble, straight across onto this thing, and arrow this switch here. Once you see this platform move, you can run down. It started moving, so I'm running. And I hide here so that the guys with the bows can't hit me. And now I shoot this thing. drop. And here's a bonfire. So, not too bad. The scariest thing is that poison spitting guy. Just hook left and then come right to avoid him. And then you got to watch those arrows. Start right to bait the arrow, and then just hook left to make it over onto the trap. A couple running sections, and you'll get it just fine. Okay, hop down here to the right now. After we rest, stick to the right wall so you don't get an arrow in the back. Ooh. That's why you stay to the side. And pick up the Sanctum Mace. There's usually an enemy down here, but he has already run away trying to catch us. There is a forlorn chance here. If you do get the forlorn, just homeward, use the homeward spell. Dragon Bridge. Souls Classic. You can roll when you start to like walk slowly. Pop some souls. No one following you. While we wait for these doors to open. Okay, so next thing is to shoot this switch so that this little thing rotates around 3 times. While I wait for it, I shoot this thing. Go over here, shoot it again. Grab the soul inside here. I think it's like a 10k soul or something like that. It's pretty nice. And then we'll probably come to one of the scariest parts of the run, which is the bug room. We're not quite there yet, but I'll have to walk you through the bug room. So here we go, through here, nice and safe, and come down here to the left. 2 R2s on this guy. 1, 2, and here I like to get out Stone Ring and the Ring of Blades because we're about to shoot this Hexer. Be careful, like, I swear they can shoot through walls. Like, be really sure you're like all the way behind a wall. And you can kind of spam them. Yeah, and you see, you're just playing it super safe. But I've been hit through walls before. Borderline through walls. Okay, Hexer is dead, so walk slowly along the left side here. We don't want to hit the spike, because that is a hit. It's not that close. You're not that close to hitting the spikes, but you just want to be careful. Just walk, walk, walk. And once you hit this, like, this little thing here, like right before it, you can aim. And I might have to walk a little further. No, I can hit it from here. Okay, great. So here, pause your music. And aim over here. So you turn this direction without aggroing this guy. It doesn't matter if he like turns towards you. He won't come after you or anything, but I just don't like him turning. It makes me anxious. I basically put myself halfway between this like skeleton's body and the rock here. And then I aim up at like this spot here, like all the way, I'm aimed all the way up right now. Kind of in like this like corner between like the outer part and the inner part. And then I throw a firebomb. And I listen. And you can hear the door moving, so that's hitting the door so that we can get into the next part. So next is the bug room, very notorious. This is something you're going to want to practice because these bugs are very scary, but it's best just to go in, go fast, run past everything, grab some throwing knives if you want. They can be useful in certain spots. So the bug room is a bit meme heavy. It's probably 1 in like 30 or 40, 50 runs or something that like something bad will actually happen, but it's a pretty scary room. It's worth practicing. Because like, yeah, it's 1 out of 50, but it'll always happen on like the run that you've got going really good. So 3 shots here and behind the pillar. Get ready. 3 shots behind the pillar. And 3 more, or 2 more rather. So there's a little poison there, don't worry about it. From here on, you're walking slowly because we're gonna go behind this guy who is apparently deaf. And just walk slowly and he won't hear you. And then we come to this room. And this room coming up is another one that's probably worth practicing. You kind of start walking about halfway across that bridge. There is a forlorn in this room. It's normally the scariest forlorn, like in the game. Probably, I'd have to think, but one of the scariest forlorns. So the trigger point's about halfway down the stairs here. If you do get it, just homeward out. Like it's not worth risking it. So we'll check for forlorn first before we do anything. And we don't have it, which is good. So the strat here, and I'll drop a life gem just so we can make a save state and do this a couple times. But we're going to aim and walk up slowly. Once we can see this guy's feet, we're going to shoot behind him so that he turns around and then run forward. So that these guys aggro and try to get them to follow us like that. Yeah, and this is very unfortunate. Usually, yeah, so it's super scary. Usually he does not give you this RNG. We're going to do this a few times just so I can show you. Ideally, you want them to kind of like run towards you, that they have like a specific animation. Yeah, that animation. And then we're going to pick up this item here, but I'm going to do this a couple more times just so I can show you. This is why it's nice to level some ADP just in case something happens here. So if anything happens, you just kind of run in circles and try to get them to fall off. So let's try it again. Yeah, this forlorn evasion is really, really horrible. So feet, he turns around. Both of these guys are going. Yeah, and this guy again was very... Yeah. So you can see it can get scary in this room. Usually you don't get this specific RNG. It's kind of weird. But you can kind of bait him to fall off like this. And you want to just run him around in circles until they fall. There we go. And he's coming down now. Once they kind of like bow down into that animation, they're going to run straight at you. So you just kind of lure them at that point into the pit. Yeah, like this. He just runs straight at you. So we'll lose a couple more times. Dude, I promise it's usually not this scary. I'll edit in some footage of like God run attempts or whatever, where I kind of do this better. On my current run I'm doing, I don't do this, so I'm a little out of practice with this current strategy, but this is the idea. So behind this guy. Oh, if you miss, it's fine. Just aim again. And these guys should come toward you. We already got one. Dude, yeah, again, this guy's just being super strange. But yeah, you can, as you can see, you can kind of roll away or like to the side of them. It's very scary, obviously. Preferably, they would not do this at all. I'm trying to show you like a typical RNG. Like this usually doesn't happen. I wonder if something with the save state is in. We'll edit in a bunch. I'll just do one more and I'll edit in more examples of like situations you can get. Just so it's like clear. This is a room you just have to practice. Like it's very consistent. Like I said, like I didn't get hit at all when running the God run on DS2. Okay, guys are aggroed, coming towards me. Yeah, usually you get something like this. That guy fell off that time. They're very like clumsy, so they'll just fall into holes. Like you just kind of run them around. Sometimes this last guy just like insists on following you and doesn't do anything crazy, but you just keep running. Yeah, and there we go. So I'll edit in some examples of different kind of RNG and like what things look like. Jeez, dude. Oh, nice. Oh. So, grab the key there, homeward out. Make sure you rest so that homeward refills. Spell slots do not refill on bone or homeward in this game. Back out to the right. We're gonna go exactly where we just were. Stick to the right again. Wait for this hollow to run away. And we go down. Again, we're checking for homeward, just in case. Pretty rare, I've only ever gotten this homeward like once or twice. Get a skull out here. Throw it down right about here. That's good enough for them. And just run through. You have extra skulls as well, so if something goes wrong, you know, you have, I think 2 extra skulls in this run. So, for these guys, again, it's the peak 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. And this time she didn't throw down the poison, but she can. I go for headshots on this guy. If he does get a spell off, I don't know if they're guys or girls. If they do get a spell off, just hide. This is, again, another spot where I've been hit behind a wall. So just kind of run like back here, so you're sure that you have like plenty of wall between you and the enemy. But a few headshots, and they're dead. Grab the ascetics in this chest. And homeward out. So all we have to do now is 2 more Rottens. And then we are through the Shrine of Winter. Hopefully this speaks to the consistency too. Like, the only thing I've been hit by is the Pursuer because I wasn't paying attention. But most of this is like on autopilot at this point, so hopefully it's convincing that this is like very learnable. There's other routes, like I said, but I really do like Shulva. A relatively quick running section is just really nice. So for this part, I like to put on Flynn's ring instead of the serpent ring. So after we kill the Rotten, we will put on all the clothes. Sorry, let me demonstrate this. All the clothes, and then red tearstone ring, right, the serpent ring. So just to show that again. And you can keep the clothes on if you want, if it's easier, but close, this, right, serpent ring. So that's how to hot swap everything in really quickly. And here, you can use a bright bug if you want, or you can just use pine resin. I'm pretty sure we'll use a bright bug for the last Rotten. It doesn't really matter. It's kind of like whether or not you want to use a bright bug on like Nashandra or Rotten 3. It doesn't matter too much. You have so much damage on this run. Okay, here we go. 1, 2. I'm only gonna do 2 here just based on timing. I'm gonna use this opportunity to reposition so I don't get trapped. Run away from this. 1, 2. Can roll into this to be more aggressive and punish. Then just keep in mind you've got to roll whatever comes next. This is a more aggressive Rotten that I'm showing. You don't have to be this aggressive. There's a bit more rolling involved in this one, but we have a lot of ADP at this point, so So if you want to play it more aggressive, you can. If you want to play it more passive and just kind of run in, single punishes, run out, like that's completely fine as well. Explosion, GTFO. You can punish after the explosion, but just be prepared to roll the next attack. And there we go. You can see we are doing ridiculous damage. You can do even more damage if you get like dark weapon and stuff. It's just not necessary at all. Even with a +7 weapon, we're still like really hitting hard. Here's our last ascetic. Get our clothes back. And you can pop a bright bug here. You have way more bright bugs than you need on the run, so if there's like a certain section or whatever you want to use a bright bug on, feel free. So just run the same line that we always run. Forlorn in the lava pool. Not Forlorn, RTSR in the lava pool. Sorry, I was thinking about the next Forlorn. You can roll in and be aggressive if you want. You don't have to. You can play it safe and comfy if you want as well. Just have some spatial awareness of where these lava pools are. So you definitely don't have to play it this aggressive. You can always decide to buy yourself more space if you want. I just like fighting rotten aggressive because I've gotten used to it, but it's completely fine to take a little more time on this boss. You can wait out this attack or you can go in and punish it as well. Just make sure you know the hitboxes, make sure you're safety rolling if you need to. Like you can see how close some of these attacks are. It's just because I've gotten very familiar with the hitboxes and stuff. And people meme on DS2's hitboxes, but Rotten's hitboxes are pretty solid for the most part. There's a couple attacks that will get you in kind of a weird way, but that's why we have all the ADP that we have at this point. So now we just want to confirm, pop all of our souls. Want to make sure we got to 1 million soul memory. And we check top right. Top right has 1,010,000 soul memory, which is great. If you do not have enough souls for some reason, you could like fight Najika or something. She's not too bad of a boss. I just not personally a fan of fighting her, but you know, you gotta do what you gotta do sometimes. So now we have 800k souls to like completely max out all of our stats and get bright bugs. Got our Herald. So let's go to 40 endurance, 40 dex, max iframes. Not max iframes, but high iframes. You can go to 30 ADP or 105 agility is like more than you'll ever need in terms of iframes. I really don't recommend going to 111 agility. It's kind of unnecessary. You already have more iframes than you would have in like other games at this point. Thanks for the resub, Catware Hat. Yeah, we're doing our recording, so won't be talking so much, but I appreciate it, dude. We're gonna go buy some more pine resin. It's nice to have. We're just doing this running section just like we did in the woods previously. No Forlorn here, but we're checking. If you do get the Forlorn, you have Homeward, right? So there's nothing to worry about. I grabbed like 21 pine resin, doesn't matter. You have so much money. You just get whatever you want. And now we will set up our TSR. I'll explain the Sanctum Mace RTSR setup. Make sure you rest for Homeward. But For RTSR, I recommend doing a running R1 into an R2. And you can put away the Sanctum Mace and heal. And generally with this timing, you will get a decent RTSR setup. I think this should be fine. You can just wait to make sure. Yeah, there it is. So if you do it too soon, you'll lose more health than you want. If you do it too late, you'll lose not enough health. Now we're going to shoot this guy. +6 short bow really hits pretty hard for these enemies. This guy, you just stand behind this this thing. Can't hit you. This guy, just peek out and shoot him in the head and miss a shot on purpose just to show you what happens. Definitely is why I did that. He likes that overhead slam a lot, so you can just strafe it and hit him with the bow. If you're too slow, there's enemies back here that will come after you. So just make sure you're running through this entire part. Ignore this guy on the right, he will never come after you. Just run past this guy. He'll sometimes do an attack, but you don't have to roll. You just keep running by him. You can safety roll it if you want. He will follow you, just lock on. 2 shots. First one's a body shot, second one's almost always a headshot. And fun fact about the Shrine of Winter, so normally if you get the 4 old souls and like come into the Shrine of Winter like the intended way, these doors like open for you. If you get 1,000,000 soul memory, you like push the doors open, like you're like forcing the doors open, which I always like interpreted to mean like you're like strong enough at this point that you can just like force your way through the game. I always thought it was a really interesting detail. This guy down here is kind of scary. So I just wait for him to stand still and shoot him in the head. And you can kind of spam L1 at this point and kill him. If he does come after you for some reason, you can like bait him to run up the slope. Make sure this guy doesn't come after you. He's usually pretty slow to aggro, but every once in a while he'll shoot an arrow at you. So just be ready to roll if you need to. Excuse me for 1 second. These allergies are driving me crazy. Okay, so the next part, we're gonna peek out on the left here. Ramsey's just opened my menu. So peek out on this left part. There's like a giant hitbox here, like where you're just not gonna, like I can just show you. Like you're not gonna hit these guys, so you have to peek out a bit more than you like will think that you should. This guy can't even see you yet because that hitbox is so large. But a few arrows each and they're done. And you can come back here, shoot this guy. And we can get the club out here because there's a lizard to kill. And that's 3 chunks of a slab, so those are very good. I've never used the poison knives here, but I feel like it's pretty... I feel like it's a pretty good idea, because then you can save some poison arrows for later. But I've never used them. But be careful, just manage your distance here. These guys are weak to poison, so that's why I was thinking poison knives would be good. You can kind of just shoot them with arrows. They go down pretty quickly when you have this much damage. You can use poison arrows here. The poison knives is kind of nice because you can save the arrows for later. So let's kill these guys regardless, however you want. So run up these stairs, but don't run past the top of the stairs here. This is like a forlorn spawn line. So just stay here behind the stairs. 2 shots for this guy, 1 in the head. And now you can take all of your rings off except for the stamina ring. Put on the wood arrows to shoot this guy. And you kind of want to just shoot him in the chest because we're trying to push him back to trigger the door opening. And that should have pushed him back enough. You usually have to do about 4 to 5 shots to push him back far enough. And now we wait for the gratuitously long door opening sequence. We can get our rings back on while we wait. And we're about to buy a bunch of arrows. You can pop any souls if you have any. Probably shouldn't have any at this point. And again, so this is a forlorn trigger, so once you run past here, check your bone. It's up to you if you want to deal with this forlorn. Again, check out Lone Wind's playlist that I'm going to link on how to deal with all the forlorns, or if you just want to homeward out. I kind of recommend homewarding. Like, it's a long running section, but it's like not... Like, the forlorn is so annoying. So you can come in here, and then these guys will de-aggro, or you can just shoot them. Whatever you want to do. Doesn't matter. Just keep an eye on them, make sure they don't try anything silly. Just unequipping the club there. Talk to this guy. Longest dialogue in history. Just like every NPC in this game has the longest dialogue. And now we are just going to buy 999 lightning arrows, and that's all we need. So here I like to put on my Flynn's ring again and use a pine resin. You can equip the arrows too while you're here. And it should be 2 or 3 R1s on this guy. Yeah, 3 R1s into the door. 2 R1s on this guy. And you can just jump down. I don't recommend jumping down like from the top. I like to get on the ladder and then hop down for like a no damage fall. 2 doors ahead, and then this bonfire. And you can just use the same pine resin that you have to go running R1, R1 on this guy. Sorry, 3 R1s, that is, not 2. And then you can just go rest, because he is opening up the door. And then I like to put Stone Ring on here for this one enemy we're going to kill. We're just going to run through this section. Nothing too crazy. This enemy up here, you just want to do a running R1, R1. And then there's a forlorn trigger after this door. I don't know exactly where it is, if it's like on the stairs or whatever, but I don't like to go too far. We have homeward here, so if the forlorn does trigger, we can homeward. Two-handed in your right hand for these doors that open on the right side like this. It's a bit faster, because you don't have to put your left-handed weapon away to open the door. And run straight through, and then we just come to this part, we run straight off. Hit the door with A. 2 R1s for this guy, and you can rest. We're gonna get the black bow now, which is the best bow in the game. Just hop down here. These enemies will not aggro. There's our black bow. You can bone out or homeward or climb back up the ladder, doesn't matter. You do need 25 dex to wield the black bow. We have 40 at this point, so that's not a problem. For some runs, like all bosses, you don't always have like the stats to wield everything. Back to Majula because we need to buy a couple Titanite shards. So we can upgrade this thing. You just want to get to 6 Titanite shards. Usually means buying all of these. Back to Majula, yeah. Over to McDuff. And buy enough large Titanite shards to get yourself to 6. So I have 1, so I'll just buy 5 to get to 6. And we'll take the rapier to +8, and the black bow to, I'm trying to remember. We can take it to +7. We're gonna get a chunk in the crypt though, but I think we don't use it. Yeah. You can take the black bow to +7 here, no problem. And now we'll go to the Forgotten Chamber. Nifty RTSR setup here. You can just drop and homeward or bone. You can just drop straight off this ledge. Perfect RTSR setup. Make sure you equip the black bow. I feel like I always forget it. Get your good rings out, damage rings for the rapier. Kill this guy. No one else will aggro. Then you do it like this. I'm not used to having this much endurance. Like, in the all bosses run, you usually have to spend levels on other stuff. Okay, so for Twin Dragonriders, I'm going to make a save state just so we can do it a couple times. But basic idea is to hit the archer with two arrows, and then run past the melee guy and then kill the archer. So use a bright bug, use a pine resin, black bow out, and lock on to the archer here. Wait a second and then 2 shots. I like to wait just a little bit because it works out the timing better here. When I'm running past this guy, I should be running R1, R1. This guy, just strafe everything to the right. Yeah, so very, very straightforward. It can just get a bit scary when the arrow kind of coincides with like a melee attack, which is why I like to wait that like 1 second. Just to kind of delay the archer from dropping down. You don't want to wait too long because then the archer will actually shoot at you. So let me show you again. Okay, full buffs. We're in. Lock on. Just wait like 1 second and then boom, boom. Run past. And you can see we have plenty of time still to strafe that arrow. Running R1, R1. And anything that he does, we just run to the right. If it gets weird, like he's close to a wall like that, just back off. Now you can do this. He does have some interesting combos, so you do want to practice just a little bit on this guy. Because he does have combos that he can throw together. So if he does like a one-handed like quick slam, that can combo. One of his thrusts can combo as well. So you just want to know the boss, and like 5 attempts on the boss and you'll be fine. So not too difficult. Not really a boss I worry about on a run. Okay, we're heading up here for a section I do worry about on a run. Roll into this left side wall until you hear a like kind of steps like dropping down. It's kind of hard to hear there, but he did drop down. Run up to the wall and back, running R1. And now you want to get the bow out and make sure you have Stone Ring on, as well as RTSR. Flynn's Ring does not work on the bow, contrary to popular opinion. So you want to have the... Yeah, he's very close. Okay, so he's actually... We got him in a good spot here. 2 arrows. Depending on the bright bug, it might be 3, but lure him out, and then once he gets close to this statue, a 3rd arrow will do this. Wait for this guy to bend down and grab the thing, and you can bone. I don't know, people say it's faster like that. I don't really have an opinion. I feel like I've never noticed it if it's actually faster. And now we can wait for the slowest elevator of all time. Pop our souls. Talk about our lives. Yeah, see? It is actually the slowest. Yeah, so now we're gonna go up and grab the key to this next part. Like key to King's Gate or something like that. And then we'll have to talk about Mirror Knight, because that is a tricky fight that isn't tricky, I guess. That'll make sense in a bit. Ride the elevator. Oh, another thing to mention on Dragonriders, if the melee Dragonrider holds up his shield, you can run like straight away from him and he'll immediately like take it down to run after you. It's like a weird AI thing with him. So if he's ever like turtling for whatever reason, just run away from him like this. And not with the running around stuff, just run away from him and he'll like lower his shield immediately and you can get back to fighting. And again, just like feel free to safety roll stuff. Like there's no like, you don't get an award for like no rolling a fight. Like if you need to safety roll, then just safety roll. And we still got our TSR because we boned, and in this game boning does not affect your health. Not going to comment on that phrasing whatsoever. All right, so let's talk about Mirror Knight loop. I'm going to drop an item here so we can do this a few times. So Mirror Knight has an AI loop where he will do his lightning attack 3 times in a row if you have good positioning and do sufficient damage to him. So the way it works is you take your bright bug. This isn't part of the loop, but just run forward. We're actually going to resin inside of the arena as a kind of a timing mechanism into the fog wall, and you want to resin right where he jumps from. We're going to run in, bait, and attack. Running R1, R1. See, I'm shifting around to his side, and I just strafed the attack. He's going to do lightning again. R1, R1. And that time I didn't feel comfortable strafing, so just rolled it. Like I said, just feel free to safety roll whatever you want. Like the loop kind of just depends on you hitting him enough. So you don't want to like roll like twice or something and like miss an attack. But if you want to roll that attack, it's completely fine. I'll show you again what the loop looks like. So take your bright bug and run through here. You want to make sure you like have good stamina management running through here. Otherwise these guys will catch up to you. You don't want to run out of stamina, and you don't want to like not use enough stamina. Take the resin where he jumps from. Kind of on this line, basically, is what I do. Run in, bait out an attack. R1, R1. Rotate around. And you can kind of like vary it, you know, how many attacks you do based on like just positioning and how it's like, if you feel like you're going to be able to strafe everything. So the loop is like not too bad once you get used to it. It's just another thing to practice. It is good to learn his moveset a little bit, just if things like, you know, if shit hits the fan, you got to be able to like fight and stuff. Go over here and grab these because these are bonfire ascetics, and we're going to use these to get plus 10 rapier after Velstadt. But the loop isn't too bad. I'm very comfortable at this point on the loop, so I wouldn't worry about it too much. At this point, we want to get our bow set up. So take off Flynn's ring, put on stone ring. Because we're in Amana, the Shrine of Amana. We're going to kill basically everything with the bow. It's not necessary to grab this bonfire, but you can if you want. If you want to go back and like level, I don't know what you would even want to level at this point, but like if you just want like more endurance or something, you can just go back. I like to shoot this guy just as a damage check, make sure I two-shot him. Definitely two-shotting him. So we're going to take out a few of these guys. Make sure you take out this spear guy as well. Should be a 3-shot or a 2-shot if you get a headshot off. But for these guys in the water, you just shoot the ones that are like near the path. Because eventually the singing will kind of stop, and then anybody that's near to you will aggro. So you don't want anything near you when the singing stops, basically. So I'll go over here, 2 shots. And this guy's kind of in a weird position, but I think we've got the damage to deal with it. When they are in front of the crawly guys like this, they can like juke like left and right kind of, so you do need to be a little careful when you're shooting him like in that specific area. You can see how good the black bow is, like how far away these guys are when we shoot them. It's just incredible. The fire rate on it is like really good as well. So this section is not bad at all. You don't need to kill anything else, just run through. No forlorns here either with the route that we're going to take. And 2 shots for these mages. What you kind of want to like hit them in the chest is like their weak point. There's a mage here in between these pillars. 2 more shots. And now we'll kill this guy. One thing to note in this area is sometimes you can miss an arrow. Like sometimes I've missed an arrow on this mage here, and it'll fly out and it'll like actually attract one of the crawler enemies. So you just kind of need to keep your head on a swivel a little bit, like just making sure nothing's coming at you. If you hit all your shots, it's not a problem because you're not going to attract anything. But if you do miss a shot, make sure it didn't actually like attract an enemy. So walk forward a little bit here and shoot this guy. Oh, something I should mention about Amana. I highly recommend turning your water quality to low, because you can see all of the edges. Where is it? Yeah, water quality here. Turn it to low. So if I turn it to high, this is what it looks like. If I turn it to low, this is what it looks like. Like you can see the edges so clearly and you can see all the enemies and everything. So if you can't see things, that's probably why. I'll probably put an edit in to like at the start of Amana, just as a note. So 2 shots to that mage, 2 shots to the crawlers. Yeah, nice and easy here. No problems. Nothing is like even aggroed to us at this point. It's about to change, but we're completely able to handle that. So aggroed, just shoot him. Just shoot him. So here you want to run like a straight line to the left side of this island so that this ogre doesn't aggro to you. And you just want to make sure that the ogre is not following you. And you can see it didn't, but you don't want to go too far left because then you'll aggro this guy here. This like crawler guy. So just kind of stick to that line, you'll be fine. Headshot, body shot. Run straight through. There's a mage here, just 2 shots again. Here, headshot, body shot. And then these 2 guys have tethered aggro, so if you hit one of them, both of them will aggro. So I like to go headshot, body shot, and I try to hit the moving target here. It's tough sometimes. So if he does end up like getting through you, you can kind of like wait for him to turn at this intersection here and hit him a couple times because he has to like change direction. Just don't get too close to the edge because he will stab you if he's like down there. I kind of wish I hadn't like hit those shots because that would have made it better to show you. But I don't really have a save state, so it's just something you'll pick up with practice. This section isn't very scary. Go through to this part. And here I like to get the bonfire and bone to de-aggro these mushroom guys back here because they kind of like encroach on you slowly and make you nervous. Not necessary, but I just like to not have to worry about them. So kill these guys. And this is why they call it Mana. You can throw some fire bombs if you want. Doesn't really matter. Kill them however you want to. I don't know if you can like get these up here. Yeah, we can hit them both sometimes. It literally doesn't matter. Like shoot them with a bow, shoot them with fire bombs. Just don't walk into that cloud because it'll break all your weapons. Let's shoot. Caster. And the other caster. And the other caster. Okay, so next up is Demon of Song. We are going to Bright Bug here at this pillar. And then once we hit this pillar here, we want to be full sprint because there's an invader. Run along the left side, cut in here, and go through the door. And go behind you and close the door on the invader. It takes him the full animation of opening the door to actually get to you. And just enter the fog on the left side, and he won't be able to hit you. So here I like to swap out Flynn's Ring, or swap in Flynn's Ring and buff, and then we go up to Demon of Song. So there's one attack here you really need to be careful of, and it's the headbutt, where he like moves forward very suddenly. Everything else is pretty simple to punish. The headbutt comes out almost instantly, like it is very, very fast. So in that case, we just have so much damage that we can usually 2-cycle Demon of Song, but I'll throw a video of the headbutt into the edit, just so you guys can see it. It is very, very fast, and even she's much more likely to do it if she's backed against a wall. So in that case, she didn't jump back, she didn't move around at all, so it was fairly unlikely that she was going to do that. This guy, just shoot an arrow behind him, and 3 more arrows to kill. And we're into the crypt. Thrawn Flynn's ring, or Thrawn Stone Ring again instead of Flynn's ring. Pop some souls if you feel like it. And we're actually going to need to rest here because I used the homeward spell in Drangleic. So I'll need to rest to get homeward back because there are forlorns in the crypt. Hop down, grab the bonfire. And reset up our TSR. Remember, just unequip Sanctum Mace and then heal. It should be a good RTSR setup. So don't peek out too far here yet. Wait for RTSR. If you already have RTSR, then I guess you don't have to wait. But at this point, you kind of like aim and move forward, and then just try to hit this like corner column thing to get this guy to turn. And then 3 headshots, 2 headshots and a body shot rather. The second headshot will stun him with Stone Ring on. Shoot that guy, and just shoot this guy from the side here a few times till he aggroes. He's aggroed already, so just kind of make sure he doesn't do anything stupid. Kill him from good distance. There's 2 hexers here that can shoot at you. With how much damage we have in the black bow, we really don't have to worry too much about the first one. Just get some headshots off and she will die. And just make sure you're back before this hex comes through. And more headshots. The projectile is very slow, so you have plenty of time to get back. So, hexers are dead. There is a forlorn right after you enter the next room. So I have my bone out, go out, and come back into this room. There is no forlorn. We kill this hollow that aggroes. And we just run. Lock on here. And he's dead. And now we're going to buy some dark arrows from, I think, Agdane. I forget all these guys' names. Agdane. Yep. So grab some dark arrows from this guy. Dark arrows are good against a lot of the late game bosses. You can buy like 9 or Janina if you want. You don't have to buy that many if you want like more like endurance or something. Endurance kind of soft caps at 40, so it's not really worth getting more, but if you really want more endurance or like more dex for like one more AR or something, feel free. Head into here, stick left to avoid the bells. Get through these rocks with the rapier. I like to one-hand the rapier here. Just grab that bonfire. We're going to use it after Velstadt. Kind of aim forward and to the right to rapier those rocks. Grab this chunk. And up here. And just walk up. And then running R1. 2 more R1s for this hexer. Hop down. There's a forlorn chance starting here. So if you get the forlorn, homeward out. This is a very, very scary forlorn. One of the scariest for sure. We go 3 pillars after that ghost. And then shoot above this guy's head. So he turns. And then run through. You can take that section slow too, like you don't have to like do it all fast and everything. I like to get this lever just in case anything going to Velstadt goes wrong. There's like no reason for it to go wrong, but why not? So come over here, left side, shoot this hollow, Hop down. There is a little bit of fall damage, so if you're close to death, make sure you're careful. Another headshot. There's a guy that'll come out of the ground. It's usually 2 shots to his body. Okay, just 1 shot this time. So these guys are the guys that ring the bell in this area that like spawns all the enemies. Now that we've killed them, they're not going to ring the bell. So let's get out all of our stuff for Velstadt and get prepared for this run up. So as you can see, there's 3 enemies up here. There's a Dragonrider, and then there's 2 of these like shield guys. So I first shoot the Dragonrider, then I shoot the shield guys, and then I run back. And Brightbug. And then once this guy is kind of close to the stairs, you can just hop down and just run along the right side. And it's an easy way to avoid all these enemies. You can buff here at the fog gate if you want. It's kind of a little scary with this guy like coming in hot. So maybe don't do that. You can buff after you enter the boss room as well. Velstadt is actually very similar to Rotten. So we kind of run out and then run back in to punish him. I do 2 punishes here. You can do 1 if that's comfortable for you. You don't have to punish that either, because that can get a bit scary. So this is his phase transition. You don't have to kill him all the way. I like to run in on this attack because you can punish him here. I'm going to show you some of these punishes. You just want to be... Oh, shit. Forgot about that. Velstadt's a fun fight, dude. Like, he's very, very fun. This is his phase 2 ranged attack. You kind of just circle behind him on this. Very punishable here. He only does this in phase 2. So let's try to get more melee. Yeah, that's a 2-hander. Very easy to punish this one. He'll hop to the side a lot. You can safety roll things if that makes things more comfortable for you. I like to run in on this again. 2, 3 punishes here. It's really easy. You can punish this or not punish it, up to you. If you're too close on this attack, he will do a follow-up. But if you outspace it like I am, he will not do a follow-up. So run in on this. 1, 2, 3, however many you want. He does that attack when you're behind him. Hopefully this is giving you enough of a look at Velstadt to kind of get the idea. But you can see I don't even have to sprint most of the time. Like if you have good spacing. That running attack can be a bit scary. Run in. We'll just finish him. Nope, guess not. Now we'll finish him. So that's Velstadt. He's not too bad. Don't do the run up like I did it, where you buff before the fog gate. Not a Baryon approved strat. Grab the King's Ring, bone out. And now we're actually going to use a bonfire aesthetic here at the bonfire. Because this spawns 3 more chunks where we picked up that first chunk. Now that Velstadt's dead, we're allowed to use the aesthetic. So we just run back over here, run along the side, rapier, 3 more chunks. So this will let us get a +10 rapier and a +8 black bow, which is super nice. That's really more damage than we'll ever need. So if you want to level up here with more souls, that's fine. I recommend getting the remaining bright bugs as well. So here we're going to go to +10 rapier and +8 on the black bow. Now we have a +10 rapier with Flynn's ring for the end game, which is just incredible damage. So 144k for the remaining bright bugs. Throw the rest into endurance if you want to. You don't need any more stats, to be honest, at this point. Like, It's just kind of like overkill to get more like endurance or whatever. But if that makes you comfortable, then, you know, that's what matters, I guess. One more skull, or 2 more skulls actually we have. If you do run out of skulls, you can buy them from the cat at this point. The cat has a lot of human skulls in her possession. Get out King's Ring. Get out the Sanctum Mace. And we were going to go to Guardian Dragon, which is in Aldia's Keep. Just bait out an attack from this guy, run in and out, just like he's the Rotten. Run past him to trigger the door. And then just set up our TSR. So there's our TSR. And run straight through here. There's an invader once we hit this doorway coming up here. So make sure you stick left, like around this carriage area, to make sure you're not staggered by the invader. Invaders in this game stagger you when they spawn in, so very important not to get hit there. As you can see, I forget if it's Lucatiel or Azlatiel, but they like can't get you. Like you're way, way, way ahead of them. So just run through this, up the stairs. If you didn't have Sanctum Mace for some reason, you can set up our TSR on those stairs. Nice and easy. You pull the lever here. So we're about to fight Guardian Dragon. There's a couple openers you can do for Guardian Dragon. You can hit its head or you can hit its wing. I like the wing personally because it gets me closer to the leg. The Guardian Dragon has a very exploitable AI. If you stick near its leg, it really likes to repeat the same attack over and over again. You can go up here and Brightbug for efficiency's sake if you want to. Or just wait to do it at the fog gate. You can chill out at this fog gate. The ogres will not follow you over here. So I'm going to show you the wing opener, but you can also open on the dragon's head. So run over here, running R1 and 2 more R1s. And then I'm near the leg. Yeah, and we get a flyaway, which happens. So sideways breath attack, really easy to punish here. I'm not going to finish off the Guardian Dragon because I want to show some RNG. On this attack, I like to run under Guardian Dragon and shoot some arrows. Not going to do it here because I don't want him to die. Make sure you stay in front of him as best you can. This is a fireball. Slow wings is a fireball. Fast wings is fire breath. This is fire breath because the wings are fast. Run to the other side. Looks scarier than it is. Coming at you. Sideways breath again. Very punishable here. I'll just finish it. It's just a fight that needs a bit of practice. Like, Guardian Dragon loves to fly. He just loves that he has wings and can fly around for an hour, so just be patient. Run in, bait out that sideways breath attack. He also has like a forward breath attack that is very exploitable as well. So bait out those attacks and you'll be just fine. So here I like to get out the dark arrows and swap in for the stone ring instead of Flynn's ring. But you can see with the amount of damage we have, like, even like 2 stomps or whatever is like almost enough to kill Guardian Dragon. So we need to go all the way through here to get the Ashen Mist Heart from the Ancient Dragon. We don't have to kill the Ancient Dragon, you can just talk to him. Talk it out. And take the zip line here. You can drop early on the zip line with circle or B. And here, once you start walking slowly, I like to just like press the jump button a bunch, which gets you up here a little faster. Once you can't jump anymore, you can roll. Like once you're not rolling on the jump anymore, you just press the roll button instead. Shoot this guy with dark arrows. Be careful, he does have a projectile attack. It's very rare, but it's very telegraphed as well. You just don't want to be in a spot where you like use your last arrow and you're out of stamina, and then he does that attack and you can't roll. So these guys don't have a shield, so they're easy to kill. Keep going. Is this +8? Yes, +8. Should be 5 shots for this guy, if I remember correctly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nice. Dark arrows work really well on these guys. Honestly, most enemies in the game, dark arrows are really good against. Nashandra is like the big exception. So we're gonna poison this NPC. We try not to use too many arrows to do it because we do want those arrows for the Throne Watcher and Defender. Yeah, and now he's rolling, which is very unfortunate. You want to keep like 7 or 8 arrows around for Thronies. Yeah, we do get the poison off here, so. From here on out, just use dark arrows. Dark slightly better than lightning here. And you just don't want to let him get too close to you. He has a lunging like thrust attack that is a bit scary. But as you can see, most of the time he doesn't even get to this door. You can walk him all the way back to the bridge if you need to. Like just kind of back off, shoot him, back off, shoot him. Like play it as slow as you need to. It's more like annoying and tedious than it is difficult. So here you can talk to Ancient Dragon and then spam homeward as you're talking. And you get the Ashen Mist Heart. Or sorry, spam talking as you're homewarding. As long as you spam A, you'll still get the Ashen Mist Heart. Okay, Giant Lord time. We warp to the forest. And you can just drop there for an easy RTSR. Like to kill that guy. Like to kill this guy. Just love killing. Kill this guy lying down. And up here is the last forlorn chance in the entire game. For this run anyways. So make sure you get King Ring out for this door. And what you can do is just go up and boop the door immediately. Without worrying about this guy. Boop the door, run away, and he'll always miss you if you do that. So Bowen is out. We're looking for Forlorn. She's not coming, which is fine. Swap in our TSR again. Bait another attack, and we can go in. There is a crazy parkour jump you can do from up there. Called Giant Lord. I think it's just Giant Lord jump or something, but it's like the King's Gate skip for that part. I don't recommend that for a first DS2 run, but it is an option if you're like obsessed with speed. But if you're obsessed with speed, you're probably not watching this guide. So we're in this area. The big hazard here is these giants. We're gonna kill them with the bow. So our first goal here is to get to this little patch of fire and just run back. And this will trigger this head to fall, and hopefully it will crush both of the giants. Oh, I need to like make a save state. I want to show like multiple ways to do this. So I'm going to show you the legit way first, and then I'll show you the like cheesy ways to do this as well. This is the quote-unquote legit way to fight Giant Lord. Wait for a fire thing, run through here. You can buff this guy. You can even buff inside, like here. This is safe as well. So Rapier is out. Wait for the fire. Down here, he's always going to do this overhead slam to open. Just dodge to the side. And we want to be in at his feet. And we're basically baiting this like attack. So if you see this where he kind of stops for a second and like does a hesitation, just run through his legs and just hit his leg as you do that. He does this stomp move as well. Very punishable. Oh, he's dead. He's not very strong. The amount of damage we have. I don't know what this save state's gonna do. So that's way one to fight him. I find that way a bit monka. He can kind of walk into like where the fire is, make that scary. He can back himself into a wall, make it difficult for you to like run under him and stuff, but it's not too bad. You can do this a different way as well. Okay, so this is what the save state does. So let's go through here again. This guy is like pretty close right now, so I don't want to run to the fire just yet. Yeah, let him walk away a little bit. And now we can run to the fire. And this will trigger the head, and usually the head won't kill both of them. Usually kills one of them. I think that's what's going to happen here as well. Oh, it actually does kill both. Okay, so this is the other way to cheese them. Or sorry, this is the first way to cheese Giant Lord. It's not really a cheese, it's just like AI manipulation, kind of. So you can run in, dodge like normal, and then head up to this platform on the left. And from here, he can only do 2 attacks. So he does this side attack. You can just roll and then shoot him with the bow. And then he does this slam down attack. You can roll it or strafe it. I'll show you the strafe if we get a second. So roll that, nice and easy. This is the strafe. You can get 2 shots off here. You basically just kill him like this. So, strafe. Nice and easy. 3 shots, why not? Like, so it's very simple. It's just these 2 attacks from this platform. You can also punish these attacks melee. And you just roll in. You can like hit his arm and stuff. Some people like doing that. On this attack, you can roll in and hit like this arm. I don't do this strategy very often, but it is also an option. So, like, he's already dead, right? Yeah. So, that's another way to kill him. Here's a third way to kill him. Third way is, like, idiot-proof, which, that's why I do it. It requires black bow or longbow and lightning arrows. That's why I buy lightning arrows. Yeah, that's true. If you're on the platform, there is a little bit of fire. It doesn't do that much damage to you, but it is something to be aware of. So here's a good example of what happens if you aggro this guy. So it can kind of get a bit hairy. Like, if I was on a run right now, I'd probably just try to bone out, but like, you can still kill him. Like, you do a ton of damage with the bow. Oh, hey, it's this guy. nice. So yeah, don't like you do want to let the giants clear out the crowd a little bit, because sometimes these guys are still around afterwards. So for this strategy, we just run to this little edge corner thing here, and we get the lightning arrows, and then we just shoot them. You want to aim as low as possible so you're doing like decent damage. Wait out the attack here, and just aim and fire. And he is completely immobile. We're in the arena, he can't walk to us, so there's like nothing he can do. So this is like a true Giant Lord cheese. So that's 3 ways to kill Giant Lord. You can pick whatever you like to do. The under the feet one requires the most practice, but is probably the fastest. Platform one is like less cheesy than this one, but it's like really easy to execute. And the this one is just like pure consistency, like God marathon run level consistency, unfuck-upable. You just want to make sure you're in this like corner, this corner thing. Like you're kind of like wedged in here a little bit. Like you can't really like move too much. So you can homeward out or bone out. That's Giant Lord. Now we get to go to Thronies. So if you want to level up again, more endurance, more dex, whatever makes you happy in life, feel free. It's not necessary, but if you want to, you can. So King Ring on to open this door and also not to aggro this enemy. And our TSR setup. Make sure you don't take off King Ring too early, otherwise this guy will aggro right here. So my recommendation for rings for the next part is you want to have Stone Ring and Lens Ring on. Stone Ring is really nice for the Thronies, because sometimes you can stun them out of running at you or stuff like that. Can save you in a pinch. I would say Thronies are probably the hardest boss in the run. They require a lot of patience and like situational awareness, and they're just difficult. Like if there's 2 guys in a room together, no pillars like ONS, like they're just like running at you. So make a save state here. Like even I get hit to Thronies like every once in a while. Like it happens sometimes. So basic strategy here is we're going to try to poison Throne Watcher. Throne Watcher has less health than Defender. We're going to use Dark Arrows here. So we'll try to poison Throne Watcher, and then when Throne Watcher is dead, we'll try to do a little damage to Defender. Once Watcher is dead, we'll solo Defender, and then when Defender goes to revive Watcher, we will finish off Defender. So the start will always be the same, just 3 poison arrows to Watcher. It's not enough to poison, but it's a good start. And just be prepared to dodge here. That attack is very common, that 2-piece swipe. Throne Watcher likes to backflip after attacks, but he's not obligated to backflip. On Defender, I really recommend strafing the attacks, like kind of baiting them out like he's the Rotten. Basically every enemy in the game is the Rotten. Just think about it like that, I guess. I know I have time to roll here, so I can be a little more aggressive with the arrow. But in general, I would not recommend doing that unless you know like exactly what you're doing. So here I'm baiting attacks and just rolling. Gotta manage your distance here with these guys. Try to bait things. You see me going in and out, kind of weaving a little bit. Roll if you need to. And it's really good to know the limitations of the bow. Like how fast does it fire? How fast do you have to recover after it fires? Like, it's just things you get like kind of intimately familiar with after a while. Jumping attack is really good for punishes. You could even do a melee punish there if you wanted to. I just don't like unequipping the bow at all, so. The fight is possible melee as well. But bow is just so much more comfy. So here we just throw a few arrows into defender. Get ready for the revival attempt. This is more than enough at this point, but we'll let him try to go revive Watcher. It's nice because we had the bright bug there. I was gonna say it's nice because we have the bright bug, but it disappeared. Shouldn't be necessary for this kill at this point. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Not even close, baby. So yeah, you can see even from like over half health, like well over half health, you still have the damage. Take another bright bug here, aim at the center, and hold down an arrow. Nashandra is spawning in, so we want to run up to Nashandra, bait out this attack, run back. You can see that little aim trick gets a free arrow off at her, which is nice. So these curse balls do damage you, and they build up curse as well, so they're a hit. So you need to stay away from them. This is the downward laser. Walk right. You can see when you hit her on the laser, she like kind of jiggles a little bit. That can hit you if she if the laser kind of like comes off weird. Overhead slam you can punish. Just make sure you get out by the time she's going to do something else. And I like to stay at this range for a melee punish. So here, punish her a bunch. 4 or 5 R1s is completely manageable. Same thing. I'm not going to do it again because like she'd be dead. But stay at this range to bait out this attack. Melee attack, just back off. We're just trying to stay at this range and get her to do lasers. Just roll. Yeah, like she's dead like 4 times over, you know. The balls are fading. You know she's going to do a curse balls soon. And she's idling, so she's doing curse balls. Once she like idles like that, you know it's curse balls. So GTFO. Pretty good RNG. We have a lot of the arena to work with here, so we have plenty of room to navigate with her. She can really fuck you. This is good. This is sideways laser, so you can dodge it like this. I want to see if she can do it again, maybe. Yeah, so you can dodge it like I just dodged it, or you can just run all the way to the side and like avoid its arc. But both are completely fun. You can also run in on the laser if you're close enough and if the curse balls aren't near her. So start shooting her again. Just hoping we can get more melee action from her. Yeah, there we go. When you're far away, she'll almost always do this overhead slam. Explosion attack. GTFO. Gets you in a good range to do lasers. Here we go. She's dead for like a 5th time. Curse balls are gone. She's probably going to do curse balls again soon. She's wiggling. She's idling. We know it's curse balls. Don't even need to look at her to see it. And yeah, this is kind of okay RNG. We have like a little bit of room to work with. We have like basically this entire side of the arena. She's coming in for melee. Yeah, she has that underhand attack. I wanted to see that. So curse balls are very close. We have to kind of stay in tight to her. We don't want to get too close to those things. I want to see if we can see more melee attacks from her. That's the overhead slam. Yeah, that attack is an attack that she has. Underhand. You see how close we are to the curse ball, right? Like it can get really sketchy, so it's just about buying yourself space. Like let's go over here instead, right? This is a lot more space for us to navigate in, to roll around in. So again, like the fight isn't even gonna last this long, like ever. Even on SL1, it's not gonna last this long. So it's good to practice like those weird spatial things with her, but it's like completely fine, right? So that is Dark Souls 2, guys. That is no hit guide, Dark Souls 2. Like and subscribe. But yeah, so like hopefully I think you can alt F4 on the credits to get like the in-game time. This is a pretty slow run because I'm like talking, obviously. But yeah, so that's kind of the idea. Again, like it's a run that takes practice, like any no-hit run. That's 205 with like redoing sections and, you know, going slow, explaining everything. Usually I'm in like the 150s for this run. I'll probably like say it's like a 150-ish guide. We've been in the 140s too, but that's kind of all there is. Yeah, the big thing is just practice running sections, practice bosses as much as you can, practice Thronies, spatial awareness on Thronies, and Nashandra is very important. Mirror Knight AI loop, Demon of Song headbutt, like those are the big things in this run. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Hopefully this helps you get started on stuff. There's gonna be a bunch of resources in the description, so check those out. Yeah, and that's it. Good luck with running.